Howdy, folks. Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I'm your host, Brent Elrod, and today I know I'm running a little late, but first off, football is back. We got a game on, so I got something to kind of keep my attention while I'm out here doing this. You know, it's always better when football's on. Anyway, got a great pairing today. Today we're putting the power against sweetness. Um, a 115 proof Kentucky bourbon with enough oak and caramel um, and spice. Yep, I can hear myself over on X, so I know I'm doing good. Um, to stand toe to toe with one of Deadwood's sweeter, more aromatic cigars. Just that camera just a little bit. It's up a little high, I think. Hey, howdy. Wave at you. Yeah, love it when people join in. Um, the Girl with No Name. I love this cigar. I love the name of it. The Girl with No Name. That's a cool name. I mean, JD's a not JD. Jonathan. JD Drew was a baseball player. Jonathan Drew. He is an eclectic kind of guy, and he does things a little outside the box. But the Girl with No Name brings earth and cocoa and cedar and a little bit of touch of spice, while the Old Forester 1920 brings the heat and the depth. The question is whether they can find a harmony by the final draw. I kind of think they can. We're going to find out, though. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in. Now, the spirit, as I said, Old Forester, 1920, Prohibition style. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon. And a lot of people don't know that Old Forester was one of the few distillers that were able to continue producing product during Prohibition because they made some stuff for medicinal purposes. So you got to use the laws where you can. Um, it is 115 proof, so 57.5% alcohol by volume. It's got a mash bill, 72% corn, 18% rye, 10% malted barley. The 18% rye gives the 1920 a really nice kind of meaningful dose of baking spice and pepper beneath that corn-driven sweetness that you're going to get from 72% corn. Um, the combination is particularly useful in this instance. The bourbon has enough sweetness to meet the Girl with No Name, while the rye and the high proof provide enough backbone, I think, to keep the cigar from becoming overly sweet. You don't want that. Let's go ahead and glass some up. Love that sound. One of the most wonderful sounds in the world. Oh, and I got this. These are half bottles. I got it in a 3-pack. You got the 1897, the 1910, and the 1920. Let you sample all of them without buying an entire fifth. But moving on, that is a beautiful spirit in the glass. It just has that nice deep amber color to it, maybe some hints of red in there. Oh, it's a beautiful spirit in the glass. How does it smell? You do get some hints of ethanol from the 115 proof, but not overwhelming. Just enough to kind of tickle your olfactory senses up there. You get some really nice dark caramel and some coffee, some dried fruit, a little bit of dark chocolate, some baking spice, and then a little bit of charred oak as well on the palate. All right, yeah, you can tell it's 115 proof. I kind of scalded my the roof of my mouth on something I ate a few days ago. It's still a little sensitive. Oh, it's overly sensitive when you put 115 proof on top of it. But I'll tell you, fighting through that, you got some, like on the nose, some wonderful deep caramel notes. Then you also get, along with that, vanilla that kind of lead into roasted nuts and some dark fruit, some cinnamon, oak, and a really nice peppery kind of warmth. The finish is long, warming, persistent, still kind of hanging on. You get dark chocolate, oak, kind of spice lingers around, and there's maybe a little touch of like burnt sugar. You know, they take the torch and caramelized sugar, a little bit of that in there as well, kind of just as you're dying away. So now the cigar, Drew Estate, Deadwood tobacco, girl with no name. The filler and binder are both Nicaraguan. The wrapper is a really beautiful Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro. Visually, it's like most of the Deadwood lines. It's a little bit roughly rolled, but it is a beautiful cigar. It has, I would just say, go ahead and say, well, no, I can kind of minimally visible veins. I mean, minimally visible seams, but they're very tight. I can only see part of one. Uh, Almost no veining. I think that's probably down here and then up here. Probably the most prominent vein in the whole stick. And yes, this is brown and does look similar to wood. It is appropriate to call it a stick. I know some people don't like that, but I can't say cigar all the time. I have to come up with other things. And then it has a closed foot. Um, Now, the Ecuadorian Habano wrapper kind of brings sweet earth and spice and some cocoa and a slightly darker richness that gives this cigar its distinctive personality. Like I said in the beginning, I love this stick. I've smoked many of them, and I always keep some. Yeah, matter of fact, I've got like three different, maybe just two or three different Deadwood cigars. I've got uh, this one, and then the Fat Bottom Betty, and the Dominicana. Yeah, so there you go. The binder adds structure and earthiness and a little more depth beneath the sweeter wrapper kind of character. And then the filler provides that underlying spice, wood, and complexity that become increasingly noticeable as you get through the cigar. Let's go ahead and test out the nose. Oh, yeah. You get this wonderful, rich, sweet earth, cedar, cocoa, some kind of roasted tobacco, and maybe just a little light spice. Not a lot, just a little. Let's see. How do I want to cut this one today? Let's go ahead and give it a punch. I know some people kind of shy away from uh, Drew Estate stuff because of his infusions that he does, the different things he does to create these profiles, and almost everything they have sweetened the heel with uh, a sweet glucose to kind of give you a sweetness on your lips. But I'm a sugar guy. I love it. So you know, but on the cold draw, I get cocoa, cedar, some leather. There's some hints of raisin in there, and just a very subtle kind of peppery sweetness. You got the different kinds of uh, peppers now that they're like sweet too. Because I love the Thai chili sauce at Studio Movie Grill when we go there, and I get my coconut chicken and shrimp. It's spicy, but it's sweet. So let's go ahead and fire this up now. I'm using my cigar double torch today, just because that's the one I picked up. That is a wonderful cigar. I love it. I understand that it's not, like the real purists. They'll be like, but hey, you got to smoke what you like, right? So I do. As you expect, it opens with a really nice sweetness and sweet cedar. You get cocoa, an earthiness, some roasted nuts, and this kind of soft sweetness up front, followed by just a gentle kind of peppery character. It's just enough sweet and just enough spice. Now let's see how they do together. We'll have to try that again. I have to touch this up. I don't think I did a really good job. I can say I'm not the absolute best in lighting cigars. You know, I just, I don't know. Anyway, looks like a witch's concoction there, doesn't it? I'm glad Halloween is on the way. I'm ready for some cooler weather. I'm tired of 100 degrees. Okay. Now, this is really where the 1920s caramel and vanilla immediately make sense. The bourbon sweetness meets the cigar's cocoa and earth, and rather than overpowering them, or rather they meet them rather than overpowering them. Try to get this out right. But then that 115 proof intensity kind of kicks in and adds some warmth and spice that pulls the cigar away from the sweeter side. So you kind of get this kind of like a ship rocking on the ocean, just moving with the waves, right? Just moving with the waves. That's what you got to do. And really, when you're dealing with a bourbon that is this high proof, I think if you're new to the bourbon lifestyle, I guess you'd say, uh, don't don't take too big of sips. You want to control it, um, especially if it's at full strength. You can always put a couple of drops of water in it. It's not really going to change the proof anything measurably, but it does sometimes kind of open up some of the more. It opens up more on the palate. I don't know. I'm struggling because at full strength, the 1920 can dominate. So if you're taking too big of a sip, it can end up washing out the cigar because it is a very good, powerful bourbon, not for the faint of heart. In this way, the cigar gets to stay in the conversation. So, how are we doing here? Oh man, we're at 14 minutes. We're doing good. Uh, Sticks-n-Stones has now partnered with Fluke Apparel Company and Go Forth Apparel. You'll be seeing some commercials by me with links. Uh, the Fluke is more beach theme kind of stuff, and they got some really great apparel. You click on the link that I provide. Use Brent Elrod as a coupon code to give you 15% off. Same thing with Go Forth. Go Forth is more it's along the lines of patriotic and religious stuff, but the same kind of thing. Click the link. Use Brent Elrod in the as the coupon code and get you 15% off. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, anyway, now back to the pairing. We'll go ahead and move on through the mid mark and the end. And I just got ash on my keyboard. Um, when you get to the middle of the pairing, the middle of the cigar, that's where things really start getting more interesting. The rye spice in the 1920 begins really kind of locking into the cigar's Nicaraguan tobacco. That bourbon's dark caramel and oak kind of amplify the cigar's cocoa, while the the pepper provides a kind of a counterpoint. The combination starts really producing a kind of dark chocolate oak pepper profile that is considerably richer than either component just by itself. Um, and then as you get into the final third of the cigar, the girl with no name really becomes fuller. She got more curves and darker. Uh, you get really nice notes of espresso, dark chocolate, some charred cedar, some earth, and then more pepper. That all just kind of dominates things. The bourbon is now playing an entirely different role in this last half. Um, the 1920s high proof finally gets to show what it can really do. It's dark oak, caramelized sweetness, and peppery heat push against the cigar's intensity instead of simply matching it. And the result is powerful, but the cigar's underlying sweetness kind of keeps things roped in and keeps the bourbon from becoming too aggressive. And all the way through, the finish is long, hot, dark, and satisfying. And that's what she said. This is the kind of aroma that I recall from my great grandfather's pipe. He passed away at 96. He was in the army before World War One. He rode around Texas and Mexico with Black Jack Pershing chasing Pancho Villa, and then he was in World War One. He smoked pipes, smoked cigars, drank bourbon, danced up a storm, and apparently I take after him a whole lot. So anyway, the kind of in closing, the Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro wrapper is really the key to this pairing. It's sweet earth and cocoa. Kind of gives the Old Forester 1920 something to grab onto, while its spice allows the bourbon's rye and high proof to build rather than just overpower. Uh, this is a contrast pairing that just gradually becomes a harmony pairing. The girl with no names, it brings sweetness, cocoa, and earth, and that aromatic tobacco I just spoke about, where the Old Forester 1920 answers it with caramel and dark fruit and oak and some rye spice and a serious amount of proof. The first third really kind of establishes the relationship. It's a lot like dating, right? The second third, it kind of gets locked in. That's when you're going together, you're going steady. And then that final third turns into a full-bodied experience, and that's when you put a ring on the finger. So, see how I brought that all together? I did a pretty good job, I think. The biggest lesson, as I said earlier, is don't drink the 1920 too aggressively. Small sips allows its richness to complement the cigar rather than steamroll it. And that is really what we're going for when we're pairing cigars and spirits. We don't want a roller coaster 90-mile-an-hour ride. We're looking for experience. And this brings that experience. If you haven't tried The Girl with No Name, you should. Overall, I'd give this about a 9.2 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles. Leave me comments. I love comments. I try to get back to them as quick as I can. I just can't really see them on the phone screens. Uh, but tell your friends about it. Tell your friends to go watch this crazy guy on, with the cowboy hat, sunglasses on, ranting and raving about cigars and spirits. Until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold. Have a great day.